Alright guys, welcome back to the Crucible. Here's where I made a planning mistake. I originally had Darkhawk for this one because he can deal with the power control and the healing extremely well, but I got excited and ended up using Darkhawk earlier, and I don't have two, so I don't have a 5-star and a 6-star Darkhawk. So I went with Shuri because that was what was on the list as some other options here, and I should have gone with power control here more than blocking the unblockables. The reason Shuri is good here, she can block his unblockable specials because he's going to keep gaining, his specials are going to be unblockable, and that's fine, but there's no way to mess with the healing. He's going to keep getting regens, which is a little bit of RNG because every time he passes a bar of power, he either gets a power gain or a regen, and the power gain is a little nuts. The regen means he's going to be unblockable, and this is where this was not the best fight for me. If you look at what I did with Darkhawk on my Act 7 playlist, it was a lot better. Now, again, I could have gone ahead and looked at what some other people were doing, but it was kind of too late. I had already brought Shuri into here, and she did get him down, but I did take me to revives, and it was a lot of kind of RNG and hoping and praying like here that he was actually going to throw that special too. The power gain was absolutely nuts. Obviously with Surge Protector, you want to throw a special before he does, and that is not always the case because you can see how insane his specials are, and he's basically unblockable the entire time. So not my favorite fight. This is probably my least favorite of every fight so far that I've had in the Crucible. And I had Kang coming up next, and I actually did better on Kang than I did on this Cable. So again, just another reminder that planning is key, and I would highly recommend power control for this one over necessarily the unblockable, blocking the unblockable specials. If you can deal with, there I think I accidentally dexed while I could have just blocked it, or I dexed it at the wrong time, but that's fine. We go in, and again, we die twice here to him. There was just, the power gain was absolutely nuts. I'm pretty sure Darkhawk shut this guy down like so nicely, because again, if you have a heal blocker, then a buff control champion would probably melt this guy, because then he wouldn't get any buffs, and if he doesn't get any buffs, he's not gaining all that power and regen. If he doesn't have regen, he's not going. So there's probably a lot better options out here. Shuri, yes, with the shocks, does a lot of damage, and she can block unblockables, but absolutely not the way to go in my opinion. I would much rather prefer someone who can deal with his buffs, or someone that can, or someone who can put on heal block, because then you don't have to deal with the unblockable. And so it's either not dealing with the unblockable and you can parry, or I think power control was the way to go. So again, I'm going to have these fights sped up a little bit just for the sake of time, and then we'll see you at the next fight. Alright, so after that Cable fight, we've got Kang. So this is the first of the two Kangs. I decided I'm bringing in Hercules for this one. I didn't bring in Hercules, I think, at all on the first path, so figure might as well bring him in here. Now, I am going to play this fight out in real time and try and do my best to break it down. There are 4 phases. In each phase, there at the top right, there is a timer. So there is a 2 there. what you need to do is you need to have 2 bars of power or throw a special 2 before the timer finishes. When you evade his special, you gain power. So there, I gain enough power to throw a special 2, and I drop it in on him. Now, there's a 0. So what I need to do is I need to wait out that timer and have 0 power when that timer ends. So I'm just going to wait, 0 timer. And each time I do that, I get a power charge. Each round, you need a certain amount of power charge in order to wound him. So here is a 3. So again, 3 is a little tricky, but intercepting does I think it's I'm not sure if it's, I think it might be a heavy that pauses the timer. But I did get up to a special 3. I dropped that on him. Yeah, I think it's a heavy that pauses the timer. I could be wrong. But there, now he's wounded because I got, I think, 3 charges. Okay, so now I'm going to put in as much damage as I can while he's wounded, and I get him, I think, below 80%, so phase complete. So now the phase is done. I'm going to throw a couple heavies just to build up my feats of strength here. And now he's aggressive. Be extra careful. He hits me. Not great, not smart, but it's okay. Now we have number 1. So we got to get to 1 bar of power quickly and drop a special 1 on him. And we do. There's a special 1. That's going to get us our first power charge of phase 2. Okay, and same thing. If you have power, what happens is if you evade it all in the second phase, I believe you're going to gain a 10 of power. I believe if you block it, you might lose power. So here I got stuck. I went to 3 bars of power, and I needed 1. So that's not great. Okay, but I still have 1 bar of power left. So, all right, so there we go. That's great. Here it pushes to special 3. I needed a special 3. So that's excellent. So I think I end up throwing the special 3 here, which wasn't great because I didn't want to lose power with him throwing a special 1 or have the timer expire. But it's going to push him to a special 2, and I don't think that's very good for me. Special 2 is a little bit harder to evade and can power lock you. Okay, so right here, you have to evade this or risk getting power locked. Luckily, I got a clean evade. And so you can see I block part of it to get power drained. So I don't go up to the special 3. There we go. We get him wounded, and now we're just going to pound into him. We've built up to like 10 feats of strength, even though we went in with 0. And we are going to knock him all the way down into the 3rd phase at 50%. So very nice fight so far with Hercules. We're going into the 3rd phase, get another intercept, but then I get clipped a little bit. And in this phase, the issue is going to be that when you need to get to like a special 3, you are going to get power drained right as you get to a 3rd bar power. So you almost need to hit him as you throw your special 3. So here, unfortunately, I had to throw a special 1 because I was going to go to 0. So there we go. I get the 0 charge. Now I need to get back up to 2 bars of power. So I need to get the full evade here, but I screw up a little bit. I get clipped. Not great. Okay, he gets me in the corner. Luckily, I do have my invincibility, and that is going to save me in this fight, and that's why I brought Hercules. So we get off the special 1. Now I get the proper evade there. I get my power, and I'm going to use my striker here, and I'm almost up to a special 3. So you're going to see what happens here. I have to hit him, then immediately throw the special 3. Okay, so I remembered that kind of in the moment because you can see as I was hitting him, as soon as I finished the hit, I was getting power drained. So you always have to hit into him and throw that special 3 almost immediately. Now we're back to 0, which is fine. So I'm just going to drop this special 1, make sure I'm at 0 power. Now I'm just going to dance around. I have only 10% health left. He's got 47. Let's see how well we can do. So we have 5 charges here. I think we need 6. So I need to get up to a special 2. We get the special 2 here. I think this is going to wound him at 6. It does. And we're able to get all the way down to the 4th phase. In the 4th phase, it's a race to a special 3. Okay, so here I'm just pounding in, waiting. Now he's aggressive. And I think I go for an intercept here. I go for another one. Get a couple intercepts going. Think I'm in a pretty good spot. And I think I make a mistake here. Right as he gets out of the aggressive mode, he gets me. So I go back in with Hercules, and it's just a quick race to a special 3. So I'm going to try, again, use the Infuriate if I can to build up my power. He's being aggressive, hitting right into me. I get to my special 3, and I drop it, and that's it. I only used 1 revive, so I did worse on the Cable fight than I did on this Kang boss. Now, again, you can always go to my channel, go to the Act 7 bosses. I've got a full breakdown, again, of this one, but hopefully that was a good enough breakdown for you in short. Last but not least, for this particular run is going to be this Darkhawk. I did what I did on my own channel, so I followed what I had done in the past. I should have, again, some planning issues. I have a 5 and a 6-star Magneto. I should have saved the 6-star for this one and used the 5-star for the Stark Enhanced Spider-Man. But here, what you can do is you can't get the usual big special 3s with Magneto, but you can pretty much bypass most of the annoyances on the node. The only way to do damage is a special with prowess. Instead of having to dash back and transfer furies and precisions into prowess, then I just go ahead and even with a 5-star Magneto, you can just build up to special 3, and about 7 special 3s will take him out. You should have enough, you should be able with the magnetism to take enough block damage to outpace him, and that's pretty much all I did here. So I'm going to let the music play out. 7 special 3s with Magneto, and you're good to go. I took a couple extra hits that I probably shouldn't have taken, and it probably wouldn't have been as close as it ended up being, but even a 5-star Ascended Magneto, is able to take out this Darkhawk. So that's what I used. I'm sure there are a bunch of other great options, but for me, this is what worked. And again, right there, screwed up again. Luckily, my Unstoppable helped me out a little bit, but again, 7 special 3s, and you are good to go. So hopefully that helps, and we'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye-bye.